open with that. So LA, man, it's weird.
What's the deal with LA?
What's the deal, man?
There's so many bad takes on like cities in like plastic straws,
I
huh?
know. Fucking libtards and I'm a man. Give me a plastic straw, dude. I don't fuck around, okay? I kill shit. I need a straw. What fucking alpha male is sipping a Dr. Pepper out of a straw anyway?
Right.
Fuck.
Like I haven't used a straw in general. I think most of my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. And when someone gives me a straw, I'm always like, who the fuck do you think I am? Fucking sucking on a straw? Now you want to complain about the paper straws? It's like, it's so weird what right-wing people complain about being tough. What's tough and masculine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
is
don't.
weird. It's weird where people will draw the lines of masculinity.
Yeah,
It's like a paper straw is feminine. Plastic straw, pretty tough.
pretty cool. Yeah,
Hey, you know what's even tougher? Drinking out of a glass like a
right,
regular person.
right. If you were real tough, you would drink out of a fucking glass that was broken. A, a jagged. You want to be tough? Drink out of a jagged mason jar. There you go.
Oh man, Chris, we met in Pittsburgh,
We did.
and we had a lot of fun, and that was a fun weekend. The shows were pretty good, but they're not all like that. And
Right. Oh, there was a controversy that night.
there was with the
Good,
the shooting.
good old Mark Norman and his anti-Semitic jokes, which he does on a regular basis. Just wasn't aware of what happened. Was it like the
Yeah,
week before or like a couple of days?
yeah, a week, maybe just a week before,
Ooh,
there was a mass shooting. We don't usually start the podcast this heavy, but
yeah,
there was
Jesus.
there was a mass shooting in a synagogue, and yeah, Mark did not even like a bad joke. He just
No,
brought up like, "Where are your Jews at?" You know, something like
yeah,
that, and
yeah.
people were like,
And somebody got really upset.
"Yeah, that lady, she got upset." But I don't know. We both we we work the road quite a bit, and most of the time people are okay. You know.
Yeah, it is weird when you go into a town. It's just like you never know what's going on in that town, and it just so happens you'll bring up the one thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
God damn it, all this smoke. What's up with this town? All this smoke. It's like, hey, dude, a daycare caught on fire yesterday, and 88 kids died. It's like, oh, I didn't know that.
God, it's so foggy in here.
Yeah, Jesus, what's all this smoke you guys got over? Yeah, it's foggy. All this traffic. Yeah, 13 children were killed in a fire yesterday. Oh, my bad. And then everybody hates you because you didn't know.
Right. Yeah, and it's like, well, how am I supposed to follow every tragedy?
Well,
You know
that was pretty funny.
what? That was crazy. She was very upset.
Yeah,
Do
we had
you, when you started, do you remember like? I'm sure you do. Just the days of taking the worst shows imaginable, just to feel a little bit like a comic. Where you
I
just
do that now. I do that now, man.
you're
Um,
like, why are you reading my dates? Like you look at it.
I do it now. Yeah, I mean, there's people I've gotten some opportunities from, and like it's just not ideal at all. But I also tell myself, like, who am I? Richard Pryor took uh, dates that weren't ideal. It's like I can't expect to get, you know, these dream gigs, and I'm just starting off. Like my first weekend ever headlining a club, and thank God for it. I love Jim Bryan. He's got a nice little club down there in PA. But the Church of Satire, not ideal. But I
Yeah.
went down, dude, and I did it, and the gig was fine. It was just the living situation was not cool. It was definitely a hotel where like meth addicts lived. And then, dude, when you log on to the Wi-Fi and you can see all the other names of the other Wi-Fi networks? I'm not lying. The Wi-Fi we had to connect on at the hotel was called I Hate Niggers. And I'm not lying.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
What?
that
Did
was
they
an
write that
option.
on the room card?
There was oh no, it was I'm sorry, it wasn't the one we had. It was one of the options you could log on. It wasn't the one for the hotel. My bad, I made a mistake. But yeah, when you log on to the hotel Wi-Fi, it popped up. I hate niggers. Strong signal. Very tempting.
Man, you're like, man, I just would love to stream True Detective.
Yeah.
Like it's,
And that wasn't the first time because he asked, he's like, "How's the internet?" I was like, "Well," he's like, "Oh, we talked to them about that. Come on, but we, they can't get the people to change it. They can name it whatever they want, but it wasn't a very welcome feeling. And like, I had my family with me, and I
oh,
highly doubted something was going to happen, but it is a weird feeling leaving your wife and your like adolescent child in a room where one of the Wi-Fi names is "I hate niggers." You know what I'm saying? It's not
yeah.
fun.
It's like, hey, I'm gonna go and work.
Yeah, out at
You
night,
guys
right?
don't open the door.
For exact, don't go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, so that was, but the gigs were fine. But just that, I think it's Hanover, PA. It's a
Yeah.
weird town, man.
It's a small town. And that's the thing. Sometimes you're just in the middle of nowhere, and you're like,
Right?
well, I guess it's time for comedy. You know.
Yeah, dude, it was odd, and we had people come back 2 nights in a row, and I'm like, you just sat here yesterday. There were 9 people at the show yesterday, and there's 9 people here again, and I don't know what to say. You've already seen all of this.
Right. Everyone knows each other by name.
They did know each other. Like one guy, I asked him what he did. Everybody was like, he works at the sandwich shop, not a, but the sandwich shop. They knew him as the guy who made sandwiches in in that town.
But hey,
Best place to eat was at a what are those gas stations called? And man, they make really
Pete.
good chicken. Royal Farms.
Oh, okay.
At a Royal Farms, best place to eat in town.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
that was
brutal. And people are like, why do comedians hate their jobs sometimes? It's like, well, when the best place to eat on the road is a gas station
right.
and you're staying in a crack house,
I
it's,
know, dude. And have you been to Church of Satire?
yeah, once, but I didn't perform. I think I went with a buddy of mine that was performing when it just opened.
Oh yeah, dude, I'll give it to him, man. He works hard. It's not a big room, but he gets people in there. But it's just funny how it's connected to like this. It's like a weird, like I don't even know what you call it. It's like a knife sword shop. Like the guy who owns the store next door, it's nothing but like medieval axes and weird swords, and he's got a ponytail and
Which is like not the most welcoming thing
no
to put
knives,
next
no.
to a comedy club.
Yeah, it's like give people an option to buy a weapon after the show. It's like I
Right.
hated the comic. You want to buy a T-shirt? It's like no, give me that broadsword right there so I can stab this motherfucker. Because he made fun of me being a sandwich maker. And guess what? That's my Wi-Fi uh, that you see at your hotel.
Right. Yeah. That's me. I don't even live in the area. I just pull up with a router
Right.
and start it up.
Just name your internet weird shit. Yeah, dude. Like when I mentioned that on stage, people had heard about it. Like I guess comics come in and they go, "There's a weird Wi-Fi name," and it's like it's not a secret.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you're talking about Gary. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he always
He
does
owns the
that.
knife sword shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big free speech guy, but he's not racist. He does it to keep people. It's like, all right, man, I
It's
got
to
you.
be honest. He's just trying to keep people
He
honest.
just kind of he's trying to keep people honest, man.
You should you should see what he has to say about plastic straws and paper straws. Oh,
Oh, there you
fuck
go.
your
Yeah,
ear off.
yeah, man.
Do you remember what's you remember a bomb maybe in your career that you were like, I don't know if I'm gonna recover from this. I feel like there's a couple for me, but do you remember any specifically?
Um, I've had people. I got booed off stage one time in Cincinnati, but dude, it was so fast. Even the comics watching were like, "You didn't really bomb because they didn't give you a chance to really do anything."
So what happened?
So it's a packed show. It's the urban show. This is at the old Cincinnati Funny Bone. I hadn't been doing urban shows for a while, so I was excited to do this because I had made a point at that time to do more, and and it was going well. And this was like a hot urban show at the club in Cincinnati. So I was like, cool. Me and my boy Nate drove down. It's like an hour, some change. Um, we get there. It's a packed room, women there. It's just like a buzz in the air. It's a it's everybody's ready to have a good time. The
Yeah.
host, I forgot her name. It was like Miss Ebony Jackson or something like that. But she went up, dude, and she is murdering, killing, people falling out the seats. You know, the crowd is just hype. Everybody's into it. I'm like, man, this is gonna be dope. And she
So
closes it.
you're already hyping yourself
Oh, dude,
up.
I'm ready. I'm like, I'm ready. This is gonna be fun. And then she's like, y'all ready to get the show started? Everybody's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. She's like, I'm gonna bring up your first comic. And then she goes, oh, I almost forgot. She was like, yo, if y'all don't like them motherfuckers, boo their ass. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, it's gonna be one of these kind of shows. And the first dude goes up, he does okay. And then this white dude, I think I was third. This white dude goes up, and he's some country ass white dude, literally overalls, white t-shirt on underneath, and they give him about 2 minutes, and they just start booing the shit out of this dude, and they're like, "All right, Chris, you're next," and I'm like, "Fuck,"
Oh
and
my god.
I go up and I try to like riff about something. Um, I can't remember what it was, but the riff didn't go well. I was like, okay, here we go. So that scared me. And I was just like, fuck, I hope they don't boo anybody. I hope they don't boo me. So I go into my first joke and I'm not telling it with any confidence at all. And then I just hear like one boo over here, then another one over there. And then all of a sudden it's just a wave of boos just coming at me. And I probably waited about 2 or 3 seconds, and I just put the mic back in the stand and just walked off. I think I was up there for maybe 30 seconds at the most.
Oh my
And it
god.
was maybe a minute. A minute is pushing it. It's really pushing it. But it was not good. And then my boy Nate went after me, and there was part of me like, all right, man, I felt bad. I was like, I hope he gets booed so we can get the fuck out of here.
Right.
I was
You're
like,
like, I just wanted people to know it's not just me.
right. I wanted somebody else to go down with me. Nate goes up and destroys. I was so mad. I wasn't even jealous. I was like,
And then people are coming up to you like, hey, you did all right, man. You
no,
did.
no.
You're like,
I wish. I wish that was the case. I wish that was the case. So he goes up. Obviously, he wants to hang out. You know, it's a bunch of women there. Everybody's slapping him up, giving him dab, like, yo, you was funny. And then like after the show, like after that, the show went great. Nobody got booed after that. Everybody's killing. Um, what made me really mad, if you want more about this story, there was this ghetto ass white chick. She was on the show. She had like the I date black dudes haircut.
yeah.
She had she had a bunch of mixed kids, and she was, I mean, talking about how she be whooping their ass and they be fucking with her wigs, and I don't play that shit. Dude, she was so hood. Dude, she leveled the place. It was her
Uh,
first time on
uh,
stage, and she leveled, destroyed. Her name was like Miss Kitty Cat or something like that. I mean, just your
with like
stereo,
two Z's.
yeah, stereotypical white trash hood rat, white hood rat. I mean, just over the top, trying to be black, and she destroyed. They People falling out of their seats, and I'm like, why am I even doing comedy, man? And then after the show, my boy Nate is getting all these accolades, people slapping him up, and then people walking by me like, damn, that's that nigga that got booed. He suck. That's him. I mean, people like literally like, yo, he got booed, pointing in my face.
Oh my god. It's like, I know, man.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I wanted to drive my car off that bridge so bad on the way home. But man, that was probably one of the worst feelings ever. But it could have been worse.
Yeah, it's such a funny comic mentality. It's like, I guess it could have been worse, you
It
know?
could have been worse. Yeah, because thinking about it, I really didn't have a chance. I got nervous and they booed me.
Yeah.
So it's not like I was like 10 minutes into a set and then they turned on me. It's just I kind of got his residual boos. You know, I didn't go up
Right.
there with the confidence. I didn't talk shit about him or nothing. I just
Yeah.
went up there like, all right, I'm gonna try to get him. And it
And
was,
they tasted blood, you
yeah,
know. Once
right.
they taste blood in the water, they just
I was shook. I can't lie, dude. I was scared. I was like, fuck, I'm done.
and
And
it's so funny because like I started in Pittsburgh at the Improv, and it was very urban room. And one of the reasons I worked there so much was because a lot of black headliners would ask for like the whitest kid in town to open for them. And so until you like figure out how to be a good comic, you're being murdered by the audience. Like
right.
most of the shows. I mean, I would come off stage and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to show my face in the lobby. Like I was so embarrassed, just because the crowd was saying funnier things than I was saying.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, I did a show for this woman, and God damn it, I can't think of the name of the town, but it's on the border of Ohio and Indiana. It's like right on the other side of Indiana. It's got a weird name, but it's like it was like in this old like VFW hall urban show. I think the headliner was this dude T Ray or T Rex or something like that. Funny urban comic.
Yeah,
Um, but at the time I was super mainstream. I really hadn't done those rooms in a while. This is like probably a couple years after the thing happened at the Cincinnati Funny Bone. So I was still like shook about it. And I
right.
go up, she wanted me to do like 20 minutes. This chick Angie, she paid me well and everything. And I just went up there as an MC dude and I ate it. It was a big like almost like a cafeteria type room up on stage.
Of course.
Everybody is spread out. There's like three people over here, older black people over here, young people in the back, three people. It was just all the lights were on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not a great setup for comedy, man.
It's so funny because people they book. I was just talking about this with another comic. Like when they book a show, they don't know. They don't realize that like turn the lights off, have a
Right,
spotlight, have a good stage, see
right.
people together. And then when you start to ask for that, they're like, "Oh, geez, anything else you want?" It's like just the basics.
Yeah,
Just want the basics.
yeah. But I mean, that's why a lot of urban comics are dope, man, because it's like they're used to performing in places that's not really set up for comedy. So when they get to a comedy club, it's that much easier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the lights on, you're like 20, 30 feet away from the closest audience member to spread out. Dude, I fucking ate it. People are like, I would hit a punchline and people are like, this nigga, he ain't funny. He corny. Who next? This is terrible. You know what I'm saying? So and it's the worst feeling when you bomb as an MC and you have to keep going up there.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, finally, it's over. I was like, what do you want me to do for your intro, T Rex or whatever? He goes, man, just go up there and do like 10 more minutes. I was just like, what? He's like, man, I don't want to go right up. Just go up there and do more time. Dude, I tried. I was like, they already fucking hate me. I go up there. I'm trying to do more stuff. I'm trying to piggyback on the stuff that other comics said that got laughs. I'm trying to do nothing. And I got to the point, I was just like, fuck this, man. I was just like, y'all ready for your headliner? And I brought him up. He made fun of me. And dude, he destroyed for the next hour. Just destroyed. And there were like 25 people there, if that.
And it's the worst feeling because just like the other one, you're like, well, as long as it's not just me, then I know that I'm not the problem.
Yeah, and it was just me that night. I just ate it. I felt bad. Because I forgot where I saw this Angie lady, and she was just I don't want to say a fan, but she was just like really believed in me, like, no, you'll do great.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have the confidence in myself. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I turned down a lot of urban shows because I just didn't have the confidence. And I fucking froze, man, and just didn't do well. And that was a terrible fucking night, man. And it was like a 2-hour drive back home, dude.
And that drive back is just,
You
it's
just
the
play it over and
longest
over
drive of
again.
your life.
It is. You just play it over and over in your head. Um, yeah, just not a good moment for me, man. I would say the most of the times that I've bombed, it's been on urban shows because I get in my own head.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I had another one. Um, this was at the Richmond Funny Bone a few years ago, right?
Okay.
And dude, I'm not really a cocky person, but for some reason that night I was really, really cocky.
Yeah, and I can attest to that because we've worked together, and like you'll go on stage. I've seen you kill, and you'll come off and be like, I don't know if they liked me.
Yeah,
You
dude.
know.
So they were doing. I noticed on the Richmond Funny Bone schedule they had like this military veteran show, and I'm like, and I'm close with Jason, the manager. I'm like, dude, how the fuck am I not on this show? It's like, I'm in the military. How am I not on? I'm not on this show. And he's like, oh, come on down. I'll put you on. And then I get there, and they're like, we don't think you can be on this show. And like in the green room, I'm talking to all these other comics. Like they're all like they're all veterans. One dude has like a therapy dog. They've only done like one or two shows a piece, maybe a couple shows here and there. And I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers are garbage. I was
Right.
like, I'm gonna go up here and just destroy. And like the guy was very hesitant to put me on the show, but I basically begged Jason. I was like, I should be on the show. I'm like one of the I'm like I'm a real comic. I actually work. These guys don't really work. I should be on this fucking show without a doubt. And like people are going up, they're doing okay. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna go up here and body this shit. I'm gonna be
Right.
dope. Man, I go up there and I fucking eat it, dude. I fucking eat it on this show. I was so aggressive on the show. I was like, be kind of like just being a dick to the audience. And
Right.
dude, I got nothing. And to be honest, man, the Richmond Funny Bone is not the best club. It's kind of a hard room.
It's a really hard room.
It's a tough room. It was a Thursday. They were not trying to hit, dude. They did not like me, but it was karma. I have quick karma. Like
Yeah.
I can't get out of pocket. Like some people can get real cocky, or like treat people a certain way and get away with it. I'm not. That's not me, man. That's not in my karmic, whatever you want to identity or whatever you want to call it. Whenever I act like that, dude, it always comes back on me immediately.
And
Immediately, dude. I bombed so hard. And the dude after this, the dude who ran the show, after I came off stage, he was like, nah, man, that was a good set. I was like, fuck you. Don't you fucking talk to me like that. I know what you're doing. I fucking bombed. Dude, he played the shit out of me and he handled it very well. He's like, man, that was a good set. Like you got what you wanted, buddy. And dude, when I saw him go up there, oh my God, it was the hackiest, most pandering. He got up there dancing, doing
ugh,
like pandering to the black people in the crowd. Remember this back in the day? And he's killing. Again, I didn't even stay for the rest of the show, man. I just drove home. I
that's
drove
that's
home.
that's when you know when you're like, forget it. I don't care what happens. I'm out of here.
Yep.
You just flee.
He went up there for the first minute and just danced to hip hop. Some straight laced looking white dude. But yeah,
It,
dude, I deserved that bomb, man, because I was being a fucking dick that night, man. I was
it
being a dick.
Comedy will always bring you back to reality. Like just when
Yep,
you think like I got this, I'm gonna get a hold of this crowd and eat them up. I mean, it will kill you.
dude. The comedy guys got my ass that night, dude. I bombed so hard, and my buddy Winston was in the back, dude. I could hear Winston just laughing in the back. I could see him, I could hear him, and I'm like, man, I just want to get off this stage, man. I bombed so hard, and then like the comic that had the therapy dog, he went up, he did great. The other person I thought was everybody did great except for me, the one that had the most experience, but I had the most attitude, dude. Man, it was not a good night, man. I learned a valuable lesson.
It's one of those things when you're in it, you don't realize that like I'm gonna learn something from this, or at least this will be a story. When you're in it, all you're like is, please let me get out of this. Please
Right,
let me leave this moment as quickly as possible.
right. And dude, Winston he's like me. Like when I first met Winston, he was very nice. He thought everybody was funny. And like for the first few months, they were like, yeah, that I got to know them. They were like, you don't think anybody is funny. You so fucking bitter. You hate everybody. I'm like, I'm not bitter. I don't hate people. It's just I've seen a lot of comedy. I'm
Right.
just not easily impressed. So he kind of got like that over time. And by this time, he was like fully on the dark side. He hated everybody. Everybody was whack. And then I came off stage. He's like, "You just had to be on this show, didn't you?" He's like, "You begged to get on this show, Chris, and you fucking bombed." He was like, "It was great. I loved it." And there was nothing I could say. He was like, "You
Right.
begged to get on this show." He's like, "You begged." And he's like, "You buried yourself from the moment you got up there." He was like, it was just great watching you panic and flounder." Yeah.
It's the, like another comic or a friend of yours, like to watch a close friend that's a comic bomb is it is a joy.
Yeah.
You know, we get a kick out of it. Like, obviously, if it's a big deal, we almost always root for each other, you know. But when someone comes in and they just can't get anything, and you just hear 4 laughs in the back, it's like, yeah, those are the comics that are just dying.
Yeah, when you just like, yeah, I don't even want to go back there after the show because I'm never gonna hear the end of this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because they're all going to remind you. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
they will be the first to remind you. What
Oh.
what's your after bomb like saving grace or vice? You know, for me, it's like calling like another comic or like going to get like the worst fast food in the world or something.
After a bomb, I would say probably food, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're like, well, this is probably gonna be my last meal anyway.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was damn, it was my buddy TJ, Winston. Was it Winston? No, it was just me and my buddy TJ, man. We went to Richmond and we did a show, and he fucking dude, TJ, he ate it, and he fucking ate it so hard. And on the way home, dude, we stopped by a Wawa, and he got a quesadilla. He got a veggie wrap. He got like $30 worth of food. He's just like, fuck this. He's like,
yeah,
I gotta feel good. So he ate a quesadilla, a wrap, a burger. I mean, he ate like so much food in the backseat of my car just to feel better about bombing. You know, just stuff
yeah.
your face, just eat your feelings.
Oh, dude, I remember I was at the Tampa Improv, which is one of the hardest clubs I feel like to play because it's an old theater. It's like you could seat 2,000 people in the Tampa Improv. And instead there's like it's 3 tiers and 400 seats spread out over 3 tiers. So
Jesus.
it's just cavernous and it was like I was just not doing well. Like a Friday night back to back, and after the late show, I just went to the bar, and I never drink on the road. But like I went to the bar in the club, and I started eating chips and salsa and drinking. And by like the end of the night, I'm in the gas station market that's right next to the condo. I'm
Right.
buying ice cream, and the flavor was the Tonight Show flavor, Ben and Jerry's Tonight Show.
Oh,
And
that's
I
hilarious.
go to the cashier. I go, "This is the closest I'm ever gonna get to the Tonight Show."
That's
This, thank
hilarious,
you.
dude. That's a great story.
And he's just like, "Do you want a spoon?" I was like, "Yeah, I want a
Yeah.
spoon."
Dude,
It's
my buddy Jay Snyder, he came, this is a few years ago. He came into the Richmond Funny Bone. I forgot who he was featuring for, but it was a Thursday night, so he got the headline, and he had never really worked that room before. And Jay is a funny dude, man.
yeah.
But I watched him struggle for 45 minutes,
Oh,
just getting, you know, teeters here and there, tee hee ha ha every once in a while, but just long stretches of just bombing where you can hear like the hiss from the sound system. Dude, there is nothing like bombing at the Richmond Funny Bone, man. Because Thursdays, it's usually like a bunch of older black women who want to go out. You can tell their coworkers or their sisters or friends, and it'll be like 3 or 4 of them, and they just all eating wings, and they'll just stare at you like, and they'll just they won't laugh. They'll just shake their head like, nah, that shit ain't funny, baby. That ain't funny, baby. Like, who is this? I mean, dude, it's a brutal, brutal Thursday night room, man. But if you bring it, you can destroy in there. But dude, they let you know in that room if they are not feeling you, they give you nothing in Richmond,
yeah.
nothing. And dude, he bombed so hard. And I remember when he was like, "All right, thanks guys, that's my time." Dude, the sound guy played that TNT
Oh
Dynamite.
my
Dude,
god.
the whole audience started fucking and laughing at that.
Oh, so they're all just the only thing they can rally behind is how bad.
How bad it was. TNT Dynamite. Dude, we started crying, laughing. Crying, laughing.
It's
He ate it, man. And he's a great comic too.
and that's the thing. It's like sometimes, a lot of times, these shows they just happen and they sometimes catch you by surprise. You could be on a good run. You're like, man, I'm killing.
Right. I should be headlining anyway. I'm gonna
Right.
show him tonight. And then the comedy guys are like, nah, B.
We're gonna bring you back to reality.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember years ago, I had just started. I was not even a year in, and Bob Sumner, he does all the booking for like Def Jam and I think Who's Got Jokes, but a lot of the black comedy you see on TV, he's involved,
Yeah.
you know. And he came to Vegas, and they're doing Def Comedy Jam auditions. And this dude Mike P had a show on Fridays at Caesar's Palace, was like the hottest show to go to, urban show to go to. They hold the auditions there. My buddy Diaz is on the show, and he's a good comic. He hosts one of the shows. He's one of the go-to guys. He's one of the vets in the city, and he probably been doing it maybe like maybe 3 or 4 years. So when you knew a guy that's been doing it 3 or 4 years, they really seem like they know what they're doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? And dude, he has a lisp, and he goes up, man, and that's the first thing they notice is that he has a lisp. And like he's doing his jokes, they're not doing well. And this chick looks over at her friend, they're sitting in front of us. They go, does this motherfucker have a lisp? And I'm like, ugh. And she's whispering, but it's so quiet because no one's laughing that everyone could hear it. Right.
Right.
So he just keeps going. He's getting nothing. And then he goes into his big, at the time, his big Steve Irwin joke. And like, dude, he's wrestling the microphone stand on the ground. He's using his Australian accent. It's
Oh
super
my
high
god.
energy. He's like describing like the Las Vegas crackhead's teeth in that Australian accent, dude. And it is getting zero,
Oh my god.
zero. All you hear is he's rolling on the round, dude. He's rolling on stage, fighting with the mic stand, fighting with the mic, and he's getting nothing. And then to watch him have to like get up, pick the mic stand back up, put it back in the dude. It
Dust
was
himself off.
dust himself off and just walk out of there, dude. He said he wanted to just stand the ground and just roll off the stage. That's how embarrassed he was. Dude, it was so bad. The guy it was my wife, it was me and my wife and a coworker and a date that he brought. Dude, he couldn't even look at the stage. I couldn't even watch. It was so bad. And he was like, yo, tell him to stop. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. And
It's already happened.
The dude Mike Pete that ran the show, man, when he got the mic from Diaz, dude, he clowned the shit out of him, man. And everybody was just laughing. That it was one of the worst performances I've ever seen, man. And
Some
to
people
this
don't come
day,
back from those, you know?
dude, I've seen 3 terrible bombs in my career. Like where I was like, I would not want to be that person. And my boy Diaz was 2 of them. Two
Oh
of the
my
3.
god.
Yeah. There was another show we used to do at this place called Bugsy's. It was supposed to be like some weird, like 20s gangster theme. Uh, it was like I don't know if it was like a banquet hall or a bar and grill or something, but it was awful. And I remember a couple weeks before, a couple of nights before, Diaz started doing this dumbass thing where he was kind of like acting like Mitch Hedberg on stage. He was like, "I'm so high, I'm higher than giraffes, pussy man. I'm so high." And then like he did this at a hookah lounge, and it killed.
Right.
People loved it. And he was like, "Yo, I think that's my new style. I'm gonna start doing that." And we do this other show a couple of nights later, dude. He does that, dude. That shit it bombed so hard. I can't even dude, it was bad. I'm so high. I'm high. I'm so, and he just kept doing it, and it was just getting nothing. It was so bad, dude. He just walked off the stage. He didn't even like say anything like I'm Diaz or nothing. He walked off stage. He walked outside. We went out there to try to talk to him, and he's just standing outside. He's just staring at the sky. He's just staring off at the sky for like 3 or 4 minutes. Doesn't say anything. Says nothing. We're just watching him literally stare at the sky. We're like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with him? Is he all right? Is he gonna make it? And dude, he just walked off. We didn't see him the rest of the night. He just walked away. Just walked away.
Does he still do comedy?
Yeah, he still does comedy.
Oh, good.
He's not a bad comic. It was a terrible night for him, dude. And that's all he did was stare at the sky, and he just walked off. We don't know where he went that night, but then we saw him a few days later, and he never did that character ever again, man.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you get that confidence and you're like, all right, I think I've kind of have something figured out here, and you're so excited to do it, and especially when it's like that physical or that you have to commit that much. When it falls flat, there is no going back to like, I'm just kidding. Like,
right.
There's no break in the tension. Being like, yeah, that one bombed. You just have to stay in it.
Yeah, dude, it's funny watching a high energy comic bomb.
Oh yeah,
that's the funniest.
It's like, because if you come out at a 10 and they give you nothing, you can't work back down.
No, you got to stay up there.
You just stay up there by yourself.
Yeah. Ugh.
It is brutal.
Yeah. I felt bad for him. I'm talking about the times that he bombed, but yeah. I clearly had my fair share of but yeah, the Cincinnati one was pretty bad. That one in Indianapolis was pretty bad.
What do you think has changed though? I mean, now you've toured nationally, and you're one of the funniest working comics I know, and you know, what do you think? You just have the experience now to handle it better, or
no? I think no. I just don't have to do some of those gigs anymore. Like, I'm pretty sure, dude, honestly, if I went to Uptown in Atlanta, I would get booed off stage quickly.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You think 100%. So? You just know now, like, I don't go there. I'm not going to take those gigs.
Yeah, but I have to stop doing that shit, man. I have to stop. But it's just, I just need to be comfortable with who I am. And I think, you know what, that's the beauty of the urban room. Like, they don't want, like, you can have an act, but they don't want to know that it's an act. It's just like, yo, be yourself. And I will say, it's all my fault. I get in my own head. Like, most shows, I'm like, I'm going to do me. I'm going to do some crowd work. I'll work in some jokes. But for some reason, man, I get so in my head. And, like, it's all about how I grew up. And I hate to, like, get into all this shit. But, like, I grew up in the inner city, and people always challenged my blackness. And I always made a point to, like, not be phony around people like that. Like, just to be myself. Like, fuck it. So when I was doing urban shows, I would go, fuck that. I'm just gonna be me and just do my jokes. I'm not gonna do any crowd work. I'm gonna make them like my jokes. And I think I just come across the wrong way, and it doesn't translate. People can tell what I'm doing, and they don't respond to it. I need to get out of my own head, man, because I'll do fine. Like, I opened for Bruce at the Richmond Funny Bone, dude. I can't lie, I was fucking shook. I was like, they're gonna hate me. They're not gonna like my comedy. They're gonna think I do white comedy, or my comedy's too slow. This not this. Man, I just went up there, had fun, talk shit, and all the sets went fine. The only set that didn't go fine was the first one, was because I was in my head. He wanted me to do 15 minutes, and I ended up doing like 9 or 10 or something because I was so afraid. But he was like, don't do that shit again. He's like, you fucking stay up there for 15 minutes. He's like, if you come off early, I'm gonna make you go back up there again. And I was like, oh shit. And after that, dude, I just had fun, man.
Yeah.
I had fun. It's really all my fault. I get in my own head.
Well, we're our own worst enemies.
Yeah.
You know? We really are. And the one thing a crowd hates, especially a black crowd, is inauthenticity.
Right.
You know, when you go up there and you are something that you're not, they know immediately. Yeah. And it's like, why are you lying to us?
Right. Why are you lying? Especially if you're like especially if you're a black comic and you're like, and they can tell like you're trying to pander, and that's not you. It's just like, nope. You think we're dumb, or you think we're this. We're not gonna laugh at that shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Yeah. But you do have to command the stage. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't be lacking confidence up there,
Right.
because if they feel like you're not in control, they'll be in control.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
they will boo
they'll
your ass off that stage because it's like, dude, they can be urban rooms can be tough, but dude, if you kill in an urban room, there's no feeling like killing it in an
it's the
urban
best.
room, dude. It's just so loud, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's like you won the championship, dude. When you fucking killing, man. Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's the best feeling. It's
I
the best
remember
feeling.
opening for Tony Roberts, and like the first show did not go great, and I was just down on it. And then you start to figure out, like, all right, I'm going to tweak this joke and do this, and just going to relax a little bit. And by the end, I mean, I felt like I was the funniest person
Right.
until Tony Roberts gets on stage, and
Oh
like
yeah.
he jumps on stage and he's dancing, and then the roof blows off the place.
Right.
You know,
That dude is so funny, man. I love Tony Roberts,
oh,
man.
he was one of the coolest people to work with because he's so versatile.
He's
Like
so he's crazy.
he's fat. He's like a hurricane.
I know.
You know, he's like throwing the stool. He's whipping the microphone around.
I know
Like
he's got 8 towels. He got 2 stools. He's moving shit around.
it's
It's like, what are we
crazy.
doing, dude? It's like he burns so many calories when he's on stage.
Oh, dude, he would change shirts in
Yeah,
between shows. He would go in the green room and change
yeah,
shirts.
dude. He that's the guy. He works, man. He puts it
He
out there, dude.
does.
He gives people their money's worth, dude. He's an excellent comic, man.
Yeah, it was such a treat to like watch him. And then by the end of it, like, like all these like older black women are coming to me and they're like you're funny, you're cute. They're like like I was like, this is the best. Like
Yeah, when dude, yeah, when black people love you, man, they fuck with you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They really fuck with you. They really do. And when they know it's jokes, you can basically talk about anything, man. Anything.
yeah,
Black people, we like fucked up shit, man. We like fucked up stuff,
that's
but
fantastic.
they don't like gay jokes. Yeah, we did not fuck with gay. You can. It's weird because like you could. This was so funny about urban rooms. You can make fun of gay people. You can go up there and act super flamboyantly gay, and it's hilarious. But the moment you put yourself in a gay situation, it's over.
Yeah,
And if you're like, yeah, so then I sucked his dick, they'd be like, nah, man, we don't
get
we
off.
can't laugh at that, man. That's not funny. But you can talk about you could go up there in a dress, all that kind of stuff, wig, act super gay, and they're fine with it. But the moment you say you actually did some gay shit in a joke, they out.
Yeah,
Come on, fam. Come on, dog. We don't even play that. It's
people
like
are
it's
just
a
getting up
joke,
and
dude.
leaving.
Yeah, it's a
Just like
joke. Yeah.
right. Oh man, Chris, I can't thank you enough for doing this. Tell people where to find you and where to find your podcast.
At home. Now I'm Instagram and Twitter at Chris Allen Comedy, ALAN. And my podcast, Negro Please Radio, you can find it on Instagram, on iTunes and Spotify, Google Play, all that type of shit. I'm once I get my other equipment in, I'm actually gonna start video recording my podcast. So then it'll also be on YouTube. So
That's awesome. Well, thanks for doing this, buddy.
yeah, man. Are you hanging up, or what?
No, I'm just
Uh
stopping the recording.